Alright folks, so what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with League of Legends, the unsung hero of the ARAM series, and I'm actually going to try and bring you a 2-episode special today. This one, first one, next one, because they're two very short games. You know, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, I should have said that first, but I guess it really doesn't matter. And the two champions I'm going to bring you have something in common, and that's their early to mid-game champions. Regardless of what map you play them on, whether it be Summoner's Rift, Crystal Scar, Twisted Tree Line, or ARAM. And in this one, you see I'm playing Volibear. Now, my team, we have a pretty decent comp. We have a pretty strong team. We got good CC. Me playing Volibear, of course, flipping slow. We have Morgana's Dark Binding. We have Pantheon's Stun. We have Fiddlestick's Fear. Plus, you know, the ultis are really, really strong. But we're lacking a true ADC in terms of damage. So the other team, between Nocturne, Olaf, and Aatrox, if they went tanky bruiser, they might actually have put up one hell of a fight in this, because they do have Tristana and Nivea. And Nivea is great at keeping control, at cutting teams in half, and can really burst down some of the more squishy champions. And Tristana as well, if you go ADC with her, she has a wonderful consistent damage, and as she gets higher levels, she can hit you from further away and would just be really strong against our team. But if you take a look down at the enemy team's build, everyone's gone offensive. There's no defensive builds in there. Look at what I've gone. I've gone armor, boots, and health pots. Morgana, she's going right towards the Rod of Ages early on. Pantheon's got a Duran shield. You know, so we've got that early tanky upfrontness right here in the early game, which is what we must do. Pantheon can be a threat late game. Fiddlesticks can be a threat late game. And so can APE. You know, but in terms of our tanking ability and being able to absorb the damage that they could put out, I mean, look at how much damage one Dark Binding just did to Olaf. So they have like little to no resistance. They have nothing that they can go up front and protect Anivia and Tristana with. Now, a lot of people have sent me messages saying, well, you know, ARAM's just for fun. This is true. ARAM is a lot more fun. The series isn't supposed to be more, you know, that serious side. It's meant to be more fun. You can do things and get away with it, as I pick up First Blood there on Volibear. But I just love waiting to pick up, just to, you know, pick that right spot to attack in. I go right for Aatrox. He's going to jump out, even though he gets feared. And oh, I thought that the Anivia wall cut off Nocturne, but no, it was actually Morgana hit him with a Dark Binding. But you still play to win. Even if you're out there having fun, you still play to win. And it just kind of makes sense to do things that your team needs. If you're a five-man pre-made, hell, do whatever you want. Screw around all you want, that's fine. But, you know, these guys, they were arguing at one point, you know, about this and that and the other things, and I've run into that so many times. It's because everyone wants to be the killer. Everyone wants to get the kills. Not many people want to, you know, be the tank, be the initiator, be up front. It's kind of like the same thing that you find in a lot of, even just like MMOs. Finding healers, finding tanks, because everyone wants to be the damage dealer. I wanted to try and flip Anivia's egg out, but there was no need for that. But yeah, nobody wants to be that. Nobody wants to do that. It's very hard to find people that are willing to do that, let alone people that are good at that. And believe me, I'm not saying I'm good at it. But I am more comfortable in that role because as a jungler, that's what I play. I play the more tanky CCs. On rare occasions, I'll play the damage-dealing junglers like Zed and Kha'Zix, things like that. But most of the time I play the tanky CC monsters. As Fiddlesticks gets himself caught out there. And in this case, I am in a very comfortable position with somebody that I know very well, and that's Volibear. Volibear's trick is early game. to mid game. You're very, very strong early game. You're hard to kill early game. Very hard to kill early game. You have great initiation with your flip. You know, your roar, the slow on it, and your execution bite can just do a ton of damage early on and can easily kill champions that aren't even quite low health. It can be very, very surprising. Poor Pantheon, but still grabbed Tristana, who was way up out of position. But the problem behind Volibear is that from mid-game to late game, in that transition, your threat level falls off really, really hard. And that's not always true, depending on the team, but 99 out of 100 times, you just become that meat shield with not much CC. So it actually helps to have a team behind you that has a lot of CC. Kind of like we got here, Pantheon, Morgana, and Fiddlesticks. So late game, you're really just down for your initiation and hoping that the enemy team will try and focus you down while the rest of your team does damage. You can't contribute much more than that compared to other tanks and initiators like Nautilus, Maokai, Jarvan, even Zac, that have that late game threat potential, a lot of CC, better initiation, better damage late game even. I mean, Nautilus is just a beast late game. He's very hard to overcome late game. He can build tanky, he can build, you know, overall we actually come out on top of that team fight. Although Pantheon's going a little too hard and gets knocked out. But yeah, still, that's not too bad. So, with Volibear, you have to take advantage of what you have early on. You have to take advantage of getting in there early, up front, and getting your other team members kills. This stands true for any map you're on. It's great to get kills yourself, but when you see Volibear, you kind of automatically build tank. Very rarely, even in people joking around, do I see people who are not... yeah, I actually flashed to flip Aatrox, and the flip didn't actually go off for whatever reason. But it doesn't matter, but... anyone who I see play Volibear, doesn't matter what game it's in or anything like that, as Triss is just going to blow her ulti and it's not going to matter too much. Although seeing Anivia come up, that's a different story, because Anivia can just do so much damage and she's a really strong wave clear. Morgana just allows herself to be killed, but that's not a terrible thing. But yeah, you always build Volibear tank. I really just want to get him off Fiddlesticks here, and even though Olaf activated his ulti, I still accomplished what I wanted to, and that was getting Olaf and Nocturne to back off of Fiddlesticks. You know, so that's kind of what I'm looking for here. I would like to get kills, but it's actually hard to build up. It's really hard to build up the stacks of your attacks to get that execute before my team members actually just come in and annihilate. And here I save my roar for when Aatrox comes up, so that he'll be slowed even if he jumped away, which he didn't manage to. So I'm really just focusing on going full out tank in this. The only thing I'm truly worried about is Tristana getting fed, so you tend to see me go after her if I can. I kind of sit in the back and counter initiate. This was one of the things I love to do. I actually had a really good... look at the damage there. There's just no defenses at all, man. And that really cost them big, because they had no way to protect their back line. No need for me to charge in there, but Yeah, I had a really great game where I played Galio, and the other team had a Malphite. And I don't know why I didn't know this from the beginning, but Galio is actually a great counter to Malphite if you keep your ulti for the right time, especially in ARAM. Malphite comes in, uses Unstoppable Force, boom, nails your team. The rest of the team starts coming in and collapsing in. Bam! You hit your ulti because the rest of the team's collapsing in. You capture them all. Now your team's dealing tons of damage to them while they're all stuck, and then boom, you explode and deal out all kinds of damage to the enemy team, and you can easily turn fights. And in that game, that's what I did. Unfortunately, that game ended up a 4v5 within about 5 to 6 minutes. I really just want to fight Anivia. I don't care that I'm going to die. It's just like, I want to die at this point. I want to go back and buy, so... But yeah, that's the kind of gameplay style that I play. I play that counter initiation. Oh, poor Pantheon, just going a little too far, but it's alright. I mean, we can goof off at this point. We got a huge lead already, and it's only 10 minutes into the game. But yeah, it's I forgot where I was. Oh well, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Volibear, use your assets early. Don't be afraid to go in early. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I went away from my normal builds in armor and whatnot for this one. To be honest, pardon me, as Volibear, I probably would have been much better off going with my standard opening, which would have been a Giant's Belt and 5 health potions. Get that extra health, because that's what Volibear's execute's all about. And like I said, early game, that execute's really powerful if you can nail somebody with it. So probably a Giant's Belt and 5 pots, or you can use the opening I had here, which was the Emblem of Valor. I believe I had boots and some health potions and whatnot. Because I wanted to build, the reason I did that is I wanted to build into the Bulwark right away. Because I was going to go full on tank, I wanted to get the early Bulwark, which, by the way, actually is going to be removed from the game, and the Aegis is actually going to combine now with the Locket of the Iron Solari. So interesting there. But yeah, I just wanted to buy into an early Bulwark, and I actually forgot I bought a red pot. Just, you know, I couldn't buy anything else, but I wanted that extra upfrontness, so I went for it. And you see me walking around there. Why? Because I want Tristana. I want to drive her out of the fight so she can't deal damage. Not that she's a major threat, but still, it's that habit of wanting to get the ADC. And yeah, as you can see there, Anivia goes down. Nocturne's just going to stay back. There's really nothing he can do, and the game's over by now. So Volibear, you know, if you abuse his early game strength, that's all you have to do, is abuse his early game strength. It doesn't matter if it's ARAM or Summoner's Rift or whatever map you want to play on. If you have a team that's willing to come behind you, that has plenty of CC, like the team I have here, abuse that early game strength of being able to charge in, flip somebody, right up until mid-game. You'll just become that big monster that everyone's afraid of. And you'll have that not only early strength advantage, but you'll have that early mental advantage as well. As people see you come charging in, they'll immediately start running away, or they'll start focusing on CCing you, allowing your team to come in and just obliterate them. That's not what I did here, but it's what you can and probably should do. The main reason I did is because I didn't go for my typical opening. I actually stayed as a counter initiator for most of the map, which was when the enemy team started initiating, I came in, counter initiated on them, and became that disrupting force that kind of threw the enemy team off their game. But not to toot my own horn here, because I know the reality of this, I didn't contribute a lot to this game. With all the CC and everything that went on, you can see that Pantheon was really big, and of course Morgana as well. Even though I went 7-2, But the enemy team, their biggest fault is you can take a look at what they have. The biggest problem they had is nobody went defense. Olaf went damage, Aatrox went damage, Nocturne went damage, so they didn't have anybody up front that could soak the damage we were putting out, despite the fact that we had no ranged AD. So in the end, they kind of threw it away themselves. Again, you can play to have fun, but you also play to win. I don't care what map you're playing. You still play to win. You don't actually play to lose. But at least you can still laugh about it. Unless you were these guys who were actually fighting with each other. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. And I'm going to bring in another one also today because it's another short game. And it's a champion that shares the similarity of being a mid-game champion, depending on how you build them. So, until next time, folks, this is One Big Bugger signing out. And I will see you then.